Hey, what do you know? It worked. Let's make sure everybody's still here. I think some people might have left based on that horrible problem there. Let me get Katie, are you still here? Let's see if Katie's still here. I think most people are still here. Hi, Tanya. All right, everyone. Every once in a while, YouTube gives us a hard time. So hopefully, let me just make sure we got Katie in the house. There she is. Excellent. So looks like we lost a couple people. Hopefully they'll come back. Let's see here. I'm just going to pull width of the screen. No, we don't. We want that. There we go. Perfect. All right. YouTube is always challenging. It's fascinating. It's like you set up everything right the same way each week, and then it throws in a new issue. So welcome. Sorry about the delayed takeoff there, but we are about to rev the engines here and take off. So make sure your seat backs and tray tables are in their upright and locked position, and your seat belt is fastened securely, and that you are ready to go because we're going to begin meditating. As usual, this will be about an hour of meditation, maybe a little less, maybe 55 minutes, but essentially a while. And let's get going here. As usual, I want you to get a nice posture. Posture matters. And so I want you to get that lower back nice and curved in. And when I do that, boom, it makes me go, like if I'm hunched down, I'm right in the middle of the screen. If I sit up real straight, you see what it does. It scoots you up. So you get that lower back curved correctly, and it makes your sit really upright, makes you quite a bit taller in your sitting position. So there we go. We got that going. Got a bunch of loose hair here. And just put it like that. So we get our lower back curved, we get our back straight, upright. I mean, you get the top of your head lifting towards the ceiling. You get your chin tucked, and then you relax. Okay, and tonight we're going to do the old thing. Once we get everything set up, we're going to do a lot of relaxation, which I haven't done in many, many months. Guided relaxation. So what I want you to do is get your posture set up, and then I want you to, as always, set your intention. Why are you meditating tonight? What is the purpose? What is your goal? You're not just meditating to meditate. You're not, just because it's a good idea. Hopefully you're not only meditating to get good at meditation, but in fact are hoping to do more with it than that. For example, improve your own life and the lives of those around you. That's a really nice intention. So I'll be quiet for a moment while you do the intention thing. There we go. That one worked. The old one is dead. Good. And now, as usual, I want you to picture an absolutely perfect icon of meditation, whatever that is for you. Let's say it's an image of the Buddha or an image of green Tara, the wonderful goddess, or bodhisattva, or perhaps Machik, Labdrang, or some other being, a meditation guru, a Buddha, a just someone who you studied with or whatever, but whoever it is, make sure it's the ultimate paragon of the archetype of meditation. So let's just call it, usually I use the Buddha, but we'll use green Tara tonight. So I want you to picture a Buddha or a bodhisattva, in this case, green Tara with green skin, and they're sitting in meditation in front of you. And you don't have to picture anything too complicated, but what I want you to understand is that they are entirely enlightened and they know what to do. And so, as part of this visualization, I want you to picture the clarity of the mind of green Tara, like perfect enlightened clarity. And then I want you to imagine that and then find that property in your own mind. Notice the perfect clarity in your own mind, even if it's just a tiny bit, but it's there. And then again, in front of you, I want you to picture the wisdom of green Tara, perfect enlightened wisdom. So utterly wise being. And then I want you to feel that wisdom in yourself. So we're feeling clarity, we're feeling wisdom. And now again, picturing this bodhisattva or Buddha in front of you, I want you to notice her confidence, absolute confidence. She knows how to meditate, she knows what to do. She has perfect confidence. So picture that perfect confidence, and then again, feel it within yourself together with the clarity, the enlightened wisdom. Feel this enlightened confidence. And then on top of this, I want you to notice a sense of spontaneity, a sense of lightheartedness, a sense of play. Bodhisattva Green Tara is very good at joyous, spontaneous play, as are all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. So really picture this lightheartedness, this easy, laughing, spontaneous, playful nature of green Tara. And then again, notice this in yourself. Notice this is lighthearted. This is spontaneous. This is playful. So together with the clarity and the wisdom and the confidence, there's a kind of playful lightheartedness. And then lastly, picture the love of green Tara. Essentially, we could kind of summarize green Tara as a kind of earth mother who loves everyone deeply and richly and personally, not in some abstract way. So feel that love of green Tara very clearly. And then again, feel your own sense of love. Feel your own sense of compassion. Feel your own sense of caring. Okay? Because, of course, you too have the nature of a bodhisattva. You too have the nature of a Buddha. So, like green Tara, you have wisdom, you have clarity, you have this playful nature, you have compassion, and you have supreme confidence. So just feel those qualities now for a moment in yourself. Okay, good. Now, what I'd like you to do is begin focusing on your breath And we're not going to breathe in just any old way. I want you to do slow, deep breathing this evening. So again, make sure it's comfortable, nothing that strains or is difficult, but within the range that's comfortable for you. I want you to do very slow breathing in, allowing the belly to expand, feeling the belly expanding, 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 and then breathing out very slow, very relaxing, very deep breathing out, which is always very relaxing. And so your focus object is the sense in your body of that breathing in as the belly expands, 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 and then the sense in your body of the contraction, the collapse of the belly on the out breath. So breathing in, breathing out, and do that very, 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 very slowly. Okay, do it very slowly. Pay attention to that for a while. I'll be quiet and then I'll come in and start leading a guided relaxation that I want you to just kind of listen to uh, while you're doing this relaxed breathing and focusing on that. So let's begin. Good. Now, as you continue to focus on slow, deep breathing, allowing the breath to get deeper and slower as you continue, I also just want to allow you to notice your forehead relaxing and your eyebrows relaxing and releasing any tension. Notice your eye muscles relaxing and releasing and letting go. Your face muscles, your cheeks, your mouth, your lips relaxing and releasing and letting go. And make sure that your upper and lower teeth are not touching, so your jaw is relaxed and released. And just notice how that sense of relaxation and relief in the face is there together with the feeling of breathing. We're staying in the body and body sensation the whole time. The face is very relaxed as you continue your slow, deep breathing. Good. Now notice that your neck and throat and shoulders are releasing and relaxing and letting go, all tension draining away, and a sense of comfort and ease coming into the neck and throat and shoulders, so that your face and head and neck and shoulders all feel released and open and at ease and comfortable. And if there's any part of them that don't feel that way, any part that doesn't feel that way, don't struggle with it, don't fight. Just let the ease and peace and relaxation around it sort of allow it to let go a little bit or relax a little bit, but don't fight at all. Allow everything to be relaxed and easy and open. Good. Now notice that your arms and hands and fingers can release and relax and let go, all tension draining away, replaced by a sense of utter limpness. The arms and hands and fingers just feel limp and open and soft. And just notice that now. And feel the ease with which your body experiences this relaxation in the arms and hands and the shoulders and the neck and the throat and the head. It's all easy and open and peaceful. And this easy, open peacefulness allows you to just simply drop now into a much, much deeper, more stable, more settled, relaxed, and open place where the mind is much more still and the body feels very relaxed. Breathing very deep and slow. With each in-breath, noticing that your mind becomes more bright or alert in a very pleasant way. And on each out-breath, noticing that the body relaxes even more deeply, even more completely. Good. Now notice that your chest muscles are relaxing, your back muscles are relaxing. There's a sense of peace and ease and openness in the upper torso. Everything easy and open and released and relaxed. And your diaphragm can now be at ease, even though it's powering the breathing. It can have a sense of much less tightness, much less effort, and instead a kind of loose, soft, gentle openness that feels really, really good in the diaphragm. And same thing then in the lower torso, the belly, of course, expanding and contracting, but also the kidney area in back and even down into the pelvis. All the tension there just releasing and relaxing and letting go and becoming easeful and restful and open. And this relaxation then spreads to your thighs and your knees and your calves and your feet and your toes. Just noticing that your legs and feet and toes just melt and become completely soft and open and relaxed, as if they're just two wet noodles, utterly at ease, utterly peaceful, with no tension at all. And as you notice this lack of tension, and it feels so good and open and peaceful and stable, it allows you to just simply drop everything now. You just drop everything now and notice the sense of peace deepening dramatically, the sense of ease and relaxation spreading in the sense of openness, expanding. And notice how even your mind just relaxes and opens and lets go. It's bright, it's clear, but the busyness and tightness of the mind have all drained away, and instead it's just open and fluid and relaxed. There's no tension in the mind of any kind. It's bright and clear and utterly without tightness. It's open, soft, gentle mind, very bright. So now just continue to focus on the slow, deep breathing with a very clear, very bright, very relaxed mind for a few more minutes here. Thank you. Good. So let's now let go of focusing on any objects and instead allow the mind itself to rest in itself. So, this bright, clear, open awareness is simply soaking in itself. You're not noticing on purpose anything, not listening to external sounds, you're not trying to take in external sights, you're not feeling the body or feeling emotions or feeling the breath. You're not meditating on mental events. The mind is simply resting in itself. Awareness is resting in itself. And we're only going to do this for a few minutes and then move more deeply with it. Notice that the mind keeps wanting to grab onto things, grab onto thoughts, grab onto body sensations, grab onto emotions, grab onto stuff happening outside. Each time the mind grabs on, just relax and ungrab, right? It's just a simple relaxation. We call this dropping the ball, right? So each time the mind grabs on, we just relax. And this dropping the ball is a kind of not doing. We're each grabbing on is a doing, but the relaxing is not a struggle, it's not an effort, it's not difficult. We simply relax. Good. Now, this is all you really have to do for the rest of the meditation. But I'm going to do a little bit of guidance using this Padmasambhava poem that we've worked with before. I've read it to you before. But we'll use it as the basis of our meditation tonight. So with this open mind, not really grabbing onto anything, I want you to notice that your mind's own awareness is naturally brilliant like the sun. To see for yourself if this is true, look into your own mind. Okay, so the mind is looking into the mind. You're not trying to figure anything out. You're not trying to use your intellect. You're just looking directly right now to see for yourself. The mind's own awareness is naturally brilliant like the sun. To see for yourself if this is true, look into your own mind right now. So let's do that. Good. Now continuing, your pristine awareness is continuous like a river. To see for yourself if this is true, look into your own mind right now. Again, don't think about it. Don't try to figure it out. It's not a puzzle. Just look. Look right now. Your own natural, pristine awareness is continuous like a river. To see for yourself if this is true, look into your own mind right now. Awareness looking at awareness. Let's do this together. Okay, good. So Awareness is naturally brilliant like the sun and continuous like a river. Next, it says, the various events of the mind cannot be found like wind in space or wind in the sky. To see for yourself if this is true, look into your own mind. So again, even though there's thoughts happening, and as an experience, if you try to actually find the thoughts, the source of the thoughts, or even the reality of the thoughts, you'll see you can't actually locate them, you can't find them. So as Padmasambhava says, the various events of the mind cannot be found like wind in space. To see for yourself if this is true, look into your own mind right now. Mind looking at mind. Doesn't matter how many thoughts or emotions are happening in there. It's all just like wind in space or wind in the sky. Look for yourself. Look right now. Excellent. Now the next part says, whatever you perceive is your own projection, just like a reflection in a mirror. To see for yourself if this is true, look into your own mind right now. All content, everything, the world, even the sense of your own body, all of this, whatever you perceive is your own projection, like a reflection in a mirror. To see for yourself if this is true, look into your own mind right now. Awareness is like a mirror, and all thoughts, feelings, perceptions of any kind are simply like reflections in the mirror. But the mirror of awareness itself is never disturbed. Look into your own mind now. Good. Now, it says, your thoughts naturally occur and naturally dissipate like clouds in the sky. To see for yourself if this is true, look into your own mind right now. Thoughts naturally occur and naturally dissolve or dissipate like clouds in the sky. To see for yourself if this is true, look into your own mind right now. The mind is like a blue sky. Fundamentally, eventually, you will discover that. The mind is flawless. Eventually, you will experience that. The mind is pristine, pure. Eventually, you will directly enter that. This is the most wonderful thing that will ever happen in your life. Look directly in your own mind right now to see this pristine purity like the sky. Good. Let's end the meditation now, allowing yourself to move and stretch, allowing yourself to have a drink of water or whatever you need to feel comfortable right now. But notice that nothing has really changed. The pristine mind is still present. Awareness is still aware. That's how we know anything's happening, because awareness is aware. It doesn't somehow shut off when we stop meditating. It's still there. We're just not doing the kind of meditation right now where all we do is look at awareness with awareness. Instead, we're engaging with the world again. So I'll just read this poem by, the bit of the poem by Padmasambhava again. And, of course, it's originally in Tibetan and it gets translated a lot. This particular translation's in this book, Our Pristine Mind by Orgen Chaweng. And it's just a nice translation. I really like it. So it says, the mind's own awareness is naturally brilliant like the sun. To see for yourself if this is true, look into your own mind. Your pristine awareness is continuous like a river. To see for yourself if this is true, look into your own mind. The various events of the mind cannot be found like wind in space. To see for yourself if this is true, look into your own mind. Whatever you perceive is your own projection, like a reflection in a mirror. To see for yourself if this is true, look into your own mind. Your thoughts naturally occur and naturally dissipate, like clouds in the sky. To see for yourself if this is true, look into your own mind. So what's beautiful here, besides everything, is that you're not being asked to believe this or to take it on faith or to somehow just accept what Padmasambhava is saying here. He keeps saying, just look at your own mind and you will see that this is true. And he's right. It's so fascinating. Like he keeps saying, your thoughts cannot be found. It's kind of a funny thing to say at first. Your thoughts can't be found. What is he talking about? Well, he's talking about emptiness of thought, right? Unfindability. If you've been doing these meditations with me for a while, you know that unfindability is just another way to say emptiness. So, but we all know we're having thoughts. Thoughts are there. So what does he mean you can't find them? Well, the idea is if you really look carefully, you really allow awareness to look very carefully, where are the thoughts coming from? You can start to sort of sense maybe a place they're coming from, but if you look very deeply, it keeps moving and changing, and really you can't pin it down. There's no spot where thoughts are coming from. No exact spot. And if you watch them disappear, there's no exact spot they disappear to. And furthermore, even when they're happening, blah, 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 these are thoughts going by, you can't pin them down. Where is that happening? People say, in my head. Okay, but where in your head? If you look, you can't pin them down if you look carefully. And this is very interesting. The more you look closely, the more they dissolve and disappear and seem to be vague. And in other words, even though the experience of thinking is something we're having all the time and it's a normal experience, at the same time, there's another sense in which it's not there because you can't actually find it. And so that's emptiness, right? It's that it's an experience, but it's not a thing. And it turns out that that's what he's talking about when he says, the thoughts are there, but you can't find them. It's also what he's talking about when he's saying the thoughts, you know, arise like clouds in the sky and then they dissipate like clouds in the sky. So again, the sky is there, a cloud appears, a cloud disappears, but the sky remains. The cloud, in one sense, is just this vanishing, momentary appearance, like a rainbow or something. Rainbow is another great metaphor. It's not in this poem, but this type of poetry from Dzogchen, Mahamudra, Advaita Vedanta, or non-dual Hindu practice, they talk about rainbows a lot. And rainbows are interesting because they're there. We can all see one. We can even agree that we see one at the same time with other people. Like, yep, see a rainbow there? Yes, I see it. But at the same time, if you try to go find one, like there it is, let's go find it, you can't actually ever pin it down. Now, of course, there are water droplets acting like little prisms, and you could probably pin one of those water droplets down. But that's why it's a metaphor. It's a metaphor for the fact that there's rainbows, and yet you can't ever find one. You just keep searching. It's like, that's why, in European mythology, there's gold at the end of the rainbow. All you got to do is find the rainbow and then go to one of the ends. Well, good luck, because they're unfindable in that way. So there's an emptiness quality. So again, he's saying you can't pin them down anywhere, and furthermore, they just arise and pass. And in between those two statements, there's the one about the mirror, very interesting. And it's very total. It says, whatever you perceive, anything you perceive, it's just your own projection. It's just a projection. And it's just like a reflection in a mirror. And this is also something you can see for yourself. Again, not talking about the reality of the outside world or anything, but talking about your own experience, the reality of your own experience. You can see that in your own mind, the experience of the world is something that arises in awareness, like a reflection in a mirror. And awareness is not stained by that. It's not ruffled by that. It's not disturbed by that. Just like a mirror will reflect anything. It can reflect chaos. It can reflect calm. It can reflect hubbub and dangerous things and not dangerous things. And the mirror is completely unruffled, unmoved, right? It's just pristine. It's not made dirty by anything it reflects. It's not made less pristine or less pure by anything it reflects. And so it's the same thing with the mind. I mean, again, in this way, we're talking about awareness, right? When we say mind in this way, we mean awareness. Everything that you experience, your thoughts, your body, the world, other people, these meditations, everything, it's simply arising in pristine awareness as if reflected in a mirror. Okay? It's a very beautiful poem, and it's also a wonderful teaching. So that's what we're meditating with tonight. Now let's switch to Q&A for a little while here. So if you have questions, feel free to type it in the chat. And I'll switch from top chat to live chat. So if you have anything you want to ask, go ahead and type it on in there now while I take my last little sip of matcha tea. Fool Jeff is asking a question. Hi, Fool Jeff. Pristine awareness is continuous like a river. I'm not sure how you're saying woo there. Like, is it woo or is it woo? Or I don't know. But there's a woo there. And then you ask if it's all mere reflections, do you use intention to change the reflection? It just depends on who you mean by you. Because remember that if it's a you that feels like it's doing something, a you that has a goal, a you that's trying to make stuff happen, in the long run, all that is just a reflection in the mirror. So if that you's trying to change the reflection, nothing happens. But the awareness itself knows that it sees that everything is just happening. The world is its own intention. Self and world arise as one continuous unfolding. That part changes itself, right? And that part is inevitable and beautiful and powerful. So it's a really interesting thing. We still get to have intentions and goals and all that because that's part of being human and that will come up. But in the long run, we see that everything is simply unfolding. And it's not that there's a lack of free will necessarily. It's that, and this is crucial, you just got to get this. The person who thinks they're doing it is just one of the reflections. But the awareness that is engaged in everything, that's there. So it's very fascinating. Michael Hare, during the investigation parts, how much are we intentionally investigating and how much is dropping the ball? Personally leaned to the latter. We were doing dropping the ball in the middle between the relaxation and the investigation. And of course, you're allowed to drop the ball. However, those parts are meant to be investigatory, meaning you're dropping the ball of engagement with thought or engagement with, body sensations or perceptions in the world. But you are doing something. It's not just complete do nothing. You are allowing awareness to look at awareness, right? Clearly, right now. So there is more. It's a little different than dropping the ball, just a tiny bit, because we're, doing an investigation process. Tanya asks, awareness is continuous even when we are asleep. It just seems to feel different. That's right. We know even neuroscientifically that the brain doesn't just shut off when you go to sleep. When I was a kid, I thought, I go to sleep. There's like a light switch and I flip it and then I go away, and maybe in dreams the light is half on or something. And so there's this idea that your brain is like a TV or something where you switch it off. But that's not what's going on. It's on the whole time, right? It's running your heart, it's running your lungs, it's keeping homeostasis in the system the whole time. And so in the same way, awareness is continuously present. When we're not aware of it, for example, in deep sleep, if we don't remember that, or even during the day when we're just so lost in thought and so lost in the world that we just kind of forget about awareness. It's still there. We're just kind of mired in the muck right then. But it's got to be there because that's how there's an experience happening. Hillside asks, when I meditate, should I meditate inside a room with no distraction or is outside okay? Just depends on how stable your meditation is. If you're having trouble tuning into this at all, do it in a quiet room because it will make it easier. But once it becomes really stable in a quiet room, then take it outside and do it so much that it becomes stable there. Aaron says, thank you, Aaron. Fool Jeff says, thank you. Clay asks, I can get to a blankness, a sense that I'm just the space where things are happening, but it's blank. Language like pristine and bright like the sun make me think I'm not seeing everything. Yeah, so watch some of the other videos where I go into, it's spacious, it's still, it's silent. Blankness implies, though, that there's no awareness. At least when I hear you say blankness, it's like, um, uh, there's either no awareness happening or it's like you're actually aware of kind of a gray screen or something. And that's different, right? That's different. So, well, as you watch more of these videos and just keep digging in, you'll see that there is more there. Fool Jeff comments, we spend so much time noticing how things end and change. So awareness is continuous was a fun contrast. Yes, awareness is continuous. Isn't that fascinating? Still empty, but continuous. John McKenna, is more meditation always better? Is 3 hours better than 1? No, the best amount of meditation is the amount that you can do comfortably and with stability. If you can sit only for 1 minute, but have a good, and depending on which technique you're doing, but let's say we're talking about the first part, the stabilizing the mind. If all you have is 1 minute, and then after that, it just becomes impossible, then just meditate for 1 minute, but do like 10 of them a day. Do 10 1-minute sessions, but have them be perfect. Or let's say you're really good. What happens with students all the time is they tell me, oh, I'm really got a stable 30 minutes, so I'm going to up it to an hour. And I admire the, like goal, but my usual reply is no, up it to 35 minutes, because we want you to be continuously like feeling like you're getting it, feeling like you're doing it right. Because if it's just like these are hour-long meditations, but if really the first 5 minutes is good, and then after that it's 55 minutes of beating yourself up and feeling bad, that's not good. Just do the first 5 minutes and then you're done. So it's not always the case that more meditation is better. Ramit says, I began noticing that awareness itself was sort of shimmering like the light show within awareness. So it is continuous, but also not. Well, it is empty, but of course things what I want to say there is check carefully what that shimmering is. Is it non-continuity, or is it a kind of liveliness, kind of vivaciousness or dancing quality? That's what I would say. I think those are different. Although everything about this kind of meditation, you've got your little emoji there of mind blown and crazy. Everything about non-dual meditation is mind-blowing and crazy, right? It's always paradoxical. It's always weird in some way. Any other questions out there? Oh God, I want there to be another drop of tea in there. Let's see. That was maybe 3 drops with a lot of matcha powder in them. All right, let's switch gears now. And this is the part where I beg for money. But first, Maurizio says, I like the investigation. Do you recommend more of this kind of investigation or dropping the ball? How can I find the right mix for me? The right mix is the one that works for you. You just got to experiment. A lot of meditation is not about someone telling you, here's the one right way to do it. A lot of meditation is trying everything out and then learning what works for you and doing that, and then deepening. So you find the right mix by trying different mixes and see what works. This is really, remember, the green Tara is wise. Green Tara is loving and kind. So understand that there is a wisdom in you that knows what to do. There's a wisdom that is kind and loving, confident, knows what to do. And so we want to become intimate with ourselves, intimate with that already existing Buddha nature, the green Tara Bodhisattva nature that's so wonderful, right? And so wise and playful and all those qualities. Okay, so this is not like some kind of meditation factory where we're stamping out all individuality and instead stamping out, to use stamping out in a different way, stamping out completely identical little robot meditators. Instead, this is like a meditation garden, and every single meditator is a different, beautiful plant with its own qualities and also its own needs. All right. Now this is the part where I beg for money. So this meditation is brought to you by me and by San Francisco Dharma Collective. And we find no greater joy in life than bringing these guided meditations to you every week, almost every week. 50 weeks a year, I think, is my average, for free, totally, utterly, completely without cost. If you look, there's over 150 hours of teaching for free that I'm doing here on YouTube. That's a lot of guided meditation. It's over 100 guided meditations, and then there's the Dharma talks and all that. So it's more like 150 hours, 160 hours, something like that of stuff on here. So they're all free. However, if you want to help San Francisco Dharma Collective do what San Francisco Dharma Collective does, bringing all these other teachers, all these other wonderful teachings and presenting them, or you want to help me do what I'm doing, which again is providing all this teaching to you for free, then feel free to give a donation. And Katie Devaney there is in the chat window giving you the links so that you can make your generous donation to San Francisco Dharma Collective and to me. And if you want it to just go to SFDC, then you do that kind of donation. If you want them to split it with me, then you put my name in there. If you're a crypto donator, I have a link for a Bitcoin address. If you need an Ether address, Ethereum address, let me know. I'll give you one. But honestly, the greatest joy is just that you're getting some benefit out of these meditations. So whether it's in the live chat or in the comment, whether you're watching this live or you're commenting later, even years later, please let me know your questions. See if I can answer them. Let me know how these meditations are positively affecting your life. And come back again. It's really wonderful to see you here. So that's it. Katie in the live chat is diligently putting a bunch more links. She's talking about Michael Owens is a great teacher. Michael Owens giving a talk and a Q&A tomorrow night called Being of Awakening, the Image of the Bodhisattva in Mahayana Buddhism. So we were doing a Bodhisattva tonight, Green Tara. Just do a search on Green Tara and you'll see what she looks like. She's kind of an amazing green Bodhisattva. She's one of the only Bodhisattvas. Her foot, instead of being fully cross-legged, one foot is out and coming down, and that foot is touching the world, and because she's so compassionate, bringing her compassion and love and wisdom and playfulness and clarity and confidence to the world, just like you. See you next week, everybody.